Welcome back to the Fierce and Feral podcast. I am your host, the free spirit Barbie, Kat Scott, and I am accompanied by the beautiful Alli. Say hi, Alli.
Hey.
Alli is joining us today to chat a lot about business. Alli's been one of my mastermind gals. She's a fitness online business owner, personal development enthusiast, and she is a part of my content creation team as a content coach with our mastermind girls. So we're going to talk to you guys a little bit about just kind of the aha moments and what we've learned in our first year in business. Alli has recently celebrated. It's not even recently. It's actually like it was September, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the retreat, she celebrated her 1 year in business.
Yeah. It was so surreal being able to do it or have it land at the retreat and having everybody around me to like celebrate. I remember walking down that morning and I was like, because you and I had talked about it beforehand, that what a weird coincidence my 1 year will end up being.
No such thing as coincidences.
Right. And I remember telling you, like, how crazy and accomplishing does it feel that my 1 year is falling on a retreat that I'm doing for my business, that my business has led me to this moment. And now I get to be on vacation in Florida, surrounded by all these beautiful women, celebrating 1 year in business. And it was so surreal, and everybody celebrated and cheered with me that morning. It was so good. It was great.
Yeah, the retreat was just magical in general. Like there's really something to be said about being around like-minded people that help inspire you to be better, because if you're around people that you have wins and their first thing is like hate, jealousy, even negativity, to kind of step into that like false ego power role, like there's something falsely like powerful about just being that like shitty negative person in the room to crap on people's dreams. But like when you can surround yourself with people who actually are incredibly excited for your wins, no matter what their situation is, like it's like group manifestation almost. Everyone just gets excited for you. Yeah, it was really beautiful. So let's go back. Let's just chat a little bit about what are the key things that you have learned in your first year in business.
Okay, so oh man, where
just pick one.
Even start?
I know.
Okay, go back. I think first lesson I learned, maybe I'll start there. First lesson that I learned is to reach out and ask for help when you need the assistance, which sounds silly because we're always told, right? Ask for help if you need help. And it's so different when you're like trying to be this boss babe CEO kind of character in your life. And then you're like, oh no, I don't know how to do like whatever it is, right? And then having to be like, okay, I need help. The first time it was a little bit scary to ask for help, but then as I continued reaching out and getting the help, it just projected me further into success, right? I think you and I talk about this often. Why not learn from somebody else and read somebody else's book, take somebody else's course and learn from the mistakes that they made, so that way you don't make the same mistakes, spend the same amount of time trying to figure it out just to have the same outcome. Learn from their mistakes. And that was actually how you and I met, was reaching out for help, was asking for extra assistance.
Yeah. There you were a part of a large group of women who were just like, help, I need help making my mission statement sound pretty and impactful, and you can make any niche or mission statement sound really pretty, but if you aren't connected to what that niche is, it's not going to bring you any sort of value or success. Even if it does bring you some money in short term, long run, doesn't do you any good. Self-development is a consistent part of entrepreneurship. If you are not willing to develop and grow yourself, your business is only as capable as the machine running it, and you are the machine running it. And it can be really hard to decipher or distinguish between like our identity and our business. That's a really big, massive thing that I've seen, and I totally get it. But people spend their entire freaking lives, you guys, their entire lives studying one subject, and they'll spend years writing a book about it. And you get the privilege and the ability to just read that book in a few days, absorb all of the information, and then apply it to your life right now. Like mentorship, asking for help, investing in yourself is the number one thing I would always say. Like, surround yourself with people that you're jealous of. That sounds really sad and scary and ridiculous, but if you surround yourself with people that you wish to be, or you are working towards and have the qualities that you desire and have the things that you want, they will then help raise you to that vibration as well. You learn from those people. Surrounding yourself with people that ignite like jealousy or anything in you, seeing it as like a beacon to like, oh, that's what I want. That's where I've settled in my life. I know I deserve better, and working hard towards that. It will kill your ego, but oh my gosh, does it raise your vibration in such a good way. Like each one of like my mastermind gals, like each one of you guys have a quality that I admire and love, which is why I love having you guys around. I spend hours with you guys every week. Alli and I spend the most time together, actually, but that's just because of choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I 100% invest in yourself and freaking ask questions, because somebody has all the cheat codes to the video games you're trying to play. Why not like ask for the cheat codes and learn from those that way?
With learning, tying into that, another good thing that that I've learned in the year is don't be afraid to try new things, even if it goes a little bit against what you're used to. Insert cliche line here, growth happens outside of the comfort zone.
Oh, totally.
So true.
Yeah, you guys, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it doesn't matter what industry you are in. You are now in multiple seats in your business. You are learning a new career. Like anytime you get a new job, it takes a hot minute. There's a learning curve, right? Like, but you are now the graphic designer, the marketing specialist, the copywriter. You're now the salesperson, the course creator, the talent, the content. You're now all of it. You're the accountant, the bookkeeper. You do it all. So each of those things is going to take a hot minute to learn, and give yourself some freaking like grace on learning that new thing, because people will go their entire lives just trying to learn and perfect that one skill that you're now adapting all the things. Like when I first started, I was like, my graphic design is shit. I even took a college in it in high school and in college. And I was like, well, that graphic design and making things look pretty is not what I'm good at. And I'm like, I'm pretty good at it now. Like,
yeah. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday when we had our call for Grounded for Growth, our planning call. We talked about how it's crazy going back through Canva and seeing the
old shit that you've made
graphics to now.
That's just like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and revamp this now with my newfound skills, because Canva is a skill in itself.
Yeah. Repurpose your content. That's a really other good thing that I've learned. You're able to, Instagram is very short form. A lot of social media, like direct social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, very short form, direct to people for them to consume. And so take that one topic that you're talking about and repurpose it into then, you can make a PDF or a course, or you can do a YouTube video or an email that goes more in depth on that specific topic. And now you have this kind of sprinkle in some content coaching stuff here, secret tip to creating more content. Just repurpose and use that same topic in multiple different forms. And now you have a ton of other content to go into other places.
Yeah, get really freaking creative with it, guys. I batched a bunch of TikTok videos yesterday because I was feeling creative. I started looking at content creation as a as a school assignment that I had to do a presentation for. So I was like, all right, what is setting boundaries or breaking up with toxic people? How many different types of TikToks can I use or can I make with that? And then I just I found one song that I loved, and I made 4 or 5 different little videos that I just have to go back and add the words for. But I'm like, I just made 5 videos kind of talking about the same thing, but that's the point, you guys. You need to be talking about your staples and your main things. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every freaking time. Be consistent, because your following wants and needs consistency to even understand what it is that you have or are bringing. I don't care if it's an object, a service, a digital product. It doesn't matter. You have to just have consistency. Yeah, that was a side rant on that one. I think another big thing, it was such an aha moment for me. There was 2 big ones. I mean, maybe 3 really big ones, is you have to start taking action and not sit in your excuses. That's why identifying what belief is blocking you, like any entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur will really tell you that mindset is everything. And you have to just start creating and taking action. You can't be stuck in this frozen indecisiveness. Because I mean, Alli, you and I have seen so many women, and even in ourselves, we'll just be frozen in fear and we won't do a damn thing. And it gets you what? Nowhere.
Messy action is better than no action, and messy action will turn into and develop into very clean and concise and pristine action. You have to start. You cannot just one day be like, all right, I'm going to lay out a plan for everything, try and work on laying out a plan, because there's always going to be something that comes up that is not foreseen, that you're not comfortable with, what have you, and that's not going to get better or remedy itself if you just sit there and wait.
Yeah, problems are unavoidable, you guys. If you own a business, I mean, if you're a human in this world, really, problems are unavoidable. And so looking at them in a negative way is just going to put you in, it's going to keep you stuck in self-spiraling toxic bullshit. Like, you have to solve problems. And if you're trying to run a business without solving problems or avoiding problems altogether, it's like trying to go swimming and not get wet. Or surfing and not get wet. You could probably do it, but it'd be really, really difficult to go surfing and not get wet. So just attack and solve problems as they come, because you can't get to the next level of abundance and success until you've solved all of the problems at the current level you are at now.
Which problem solving is a lot easier when you have a group of women, well, specifically in my case, group of anybody, support system, a good tribe behind you to help you solve those problems.
Yeah, everyone's got different perspectives. The perspective is huge.
Other people have different skill sets. You know, I'm really great in creating like graphic design stuff and creating Canva, and Kat's really good at creating words and making words sound pretty. And so if I ever need help, I was like, Kat, I need help with copywriting. Like, girl, I can't, this is what I'm trying to say. And she just like shines it up, makes it sparkle, and gives it back to me. It's great. And
how about this?
Yeah. And if you're in a group, if you have a tribe, guarantee there's going to be somebody who has a different skill set than you do. And if you can help each other, so important of having a good tribe. If you can find women that are going to help you succeed and cheer you on in your successes, instead of trying to tear you down or hold you back, you're going to go so much further.
Yeah. Like, it's great when we have like brainstorming sessions with the mastermind, because like, yeah, we all hyper focus on certain things. Like I'm on like the marketing words and the feel of the photos. You're like, does it look beautiful and pretty? And then there's Camille, who's like, how can we associate this with affiliate links? Like, how can we optimize this when it comes to unblocking money coming in? Like, we all hyper focus on very different aspects of business. And that's why, yeah, all having the perspective so we can each help fine tune each other's little machines going on. It makes a massive difference. And that's why there are like, I mean, massive, like, I feel like in every big community, there are like the business bureaus and those clubs and everything that people get together and they collab and they network, because it's all about the people, you know, which is why doing things like Grounded for Growth, which if you guys don't know, Alli and I do free co-working calls every other week. It's just free. And it's women business owners just getting together, hanging out, co-working. Sometimes we have a topic. Sometimes it's like, hey, what are you guys struggling with? Or I need some ideas with something. I mean, Amanda last week was even asking for ideas with her business, which was so cool. And it's just really neat to meet all these people, but don't isolate yourself.
Yeah. Being an entrepreneur and working from home. I mean, specifically for me, I can attest to this. If I wouldn't have had a group of women like I do, I moved across the country just a couple of months ago, completely away from my family, with my boyfriend. So it's just him and I. So definitely a very interesting and kind of isolating experience. And if I wouldn't have had the community and the friends that I do with you guys, I think it would have been much harder to adjust and be successful in this place.
Yeah, I actually was thinking about this morning. So as my course launched, We're like mid-course launch, mid-course high right now. Go, go, go. I was going through my messages and just old people that I used to talk to frequently, old followers I used to pop in, old conversations that I've had, because, in between the months of launching self-expansion and the mastermind, I'm really serving on the back end, creating just change and serving the mastermind gals. I'm serving you gals as much as I possibly can. So I'm not even up on social media very much, interacting and connecting as much as I should, which, now we're getting out there talking with all the people. I got no fear anymore. It doesn't matter what anyone could say. That's a major block and resistance I see with gals with just getting out there and connecting is, the fear of rejection, the fear of being misunderstood, all the stuff. I digress. But I noticed that more than half, it was starting to make me sad that more than half of the women I was talking to, even 6 to 8 months ago, who owned businesses, their Instagram accounts were like gone and deleted. The conversations were still there. And I was like, oh, I remember this girl. I remember this conversation. And they're more than half of them, those businesses aren't a thing anymore because they've quit.
Yeah, that is sad.
It makes me so sad.
Hard. It gets hard. So, I mean, assuming they probably quit because they got frustrated, it got hard. And it gets hard for everybody. You go through your periods of down, right? That's challenging and not so great, but those are your periods of growth. And then you learn and you reap all of the things you can from that time frame. And then everything starts to get better and you start to grow. What is the quote that I shared? You can't plant the seed and have, what is it? You can't plant the seed and have the flower the next day, something along those lines.
Yeah. Close enough.
Close enough. More or less, something like that. So it's hard because, and I personally run into this a lot of times. I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to negative self-talk and kind of beating myself up in, damn, Alli, you could be doing more, even though, spend 8 hours in my office doing stuff during the day.
Yeah, your brain is exhausting. Your brain just goes and go. I'm just like, wow, that thought process exhausted me just listening to it. I imagine, I'm surprised you don't eat more food because your brain just needs it to function. You notice though, when I said, so many girls, I'd seen so many businesses just quit and fail. You feel sad and you feel sad for them, but you understand. It's just I don't blame them. Frick. It can get really, really hard, especially without the guidance and support. And you're never failing. You're just figuring it out. So each little failure. That's why, even with my Let Go course, full sent. Didn't have everything ready. Wouldn't be picture perfect, but I'm going to learn so much from it. And full sending I had 6, 7 people within a few hours of posting some ads last night, TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram. They were all coming at me from different ways, which is exciting. But that brings me to another really big one. Business is so fucking simple, you guys. It's not easy. It is hard. Business is hard, but it is so simple once you grasp the concept.
You overthink it, and that's what makes it so hard.
We are just taught that there's no way that you can make money from home or doing your own thing or being a freelance person. There's no way. It's irresponsible. It's not all the things. And I even had Brooke, my sister-in-law, who now just joined self-expansion, words, things, all the stuff. And she was like, I don't understand. It's this easy. I could just do this, this, and this, and I can make money from it. She's like, yeah. She's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah.
I mean, that was
I feel like I'm doing something wrong. And I'm like,
and that's exactly us when we started Grounded for Growth after the retreat. And we were like, hey, or the content portion of Grounded for Growth, and me helping you and expanding to offer the content coaching and that extra aspect of your business with you. We were sitting down in one of our first business calls, and we were both like, this feels like, what are we missing? Because we both took all of the knowledge and all of the things that we've learned from the last year, 2 years almost, no, year and a half for you, right? Of business, and we took and applied all of this to this new entity that we were creating, and we were like, this seemed too easy. What's not here?
I know, you feel like when you start to make more money doing less work, you feel like there's something wrong because it's been drilled into your head that you have to be working and hustling and dying to get any sort of money in return. But like, that's another thing that I've learned is money and time and effort aren't interchangeable. Like you can't, money and time are not equal currencies. I know a lot of people who make a shit ton of money and they don't work very much. And I know a lot of people that work 90 hours plus 80-hour work period sometimes. I know we all know people who work their butts off and can still barely make ends meet or not make any money at all. So just read that in there. It shows us that money and time are not like, you can't interchange them. That's a whole money belief.
I had a moment because I saw something.
Yeah, I saw your moment. You were like, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find it on my phone again, but I don't know where it is because it said something exactly along those lines. Oh, here we go. Okay. This is probably one of the biggest beliefs that you have, considering this is your mentor. James Wedmore posted yesterday a quote, and it says, growing your business will require either time or money. Most are willing to give their time freely, but hold on to money tightly. But remember, time can create more money, but money can create more time and more money. Choose wisely. And I was like,
I know. I loved that so much yesterday. I went on a whole rant about it because money can create time and money, but time can only that is why it's so important to, again, invest in your freaking selves, you guys. Go learn from the right people. But I've worked with business owners who make 6+ figures a year. I know I work with the business owners who are still going to school, working a job, and still building business on the side. And it's always this big money belief that they have to work and be up at 5 a.m. working and to make money.
And I can attest to that as well, because I know for the longest time working with you in Mastermind and working on my self-growth and self-development, which, side note, is very important as a business owner as well. Mindset is everything when it comes to business and success. But you and I early on I left. So I started my business. I guess this is like a really good topic to touch on. I started my coaching business and I was still working in corporate America. So this
making good money. You were making
I made 6 figures in my corporate America position. And I did this as a side hustle because I was very passionate about it. I wanted to coach women. I transformed my life through fitness and nutrition, and I wanted to offer that to other women. And so I started my coaching in June, established as an LLC in September, and stepped away from my corporate America position in December. All in 1 year, that quickly, over the course of 6 months, I was so into my business and so there for it that I was able to step away, but it's terrifying doing so.
Yeah, it's terrifying. 100%.
Where was I going with this? What was the first?
That's a great question. We were talking about mindset and limiting beliefs.
Oh yes,
business.
I don't remember. Dang it.
Effort, money, time, all the things. You have to just start. And it sucks. You're gonna have ups and you're gonna have downs. But if you don't block or unblock the mindset bullshit stuck with inside of you, your business will get tapped out and you will probably quit.
I remember where we were going with that. We were talking about 9 to 5. We were talking about 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Yes, that was it. So I stepped away from my corporate position, but for the first 2 to 3 months, I was still functioning myself as a 9 to 5 position.
You were an employee in your own business, not
I remember
the CEO.
sitting in my office. I would be literally sitting in my office, scrolling on my phone, not doing anything business related, but I would not allow myself to leave my office because I felt that it was in between these hours in the day, so I should be in my office working, which as soon as I broke that, it gave me so much more freedom and so much more confidence in my business and in my ability to run my business. And I've been able to get systems set up with like batching content and doing those things that work for me. And I approach my business now more as a CEO instead of an employee. And I have a balance of time freedom where I can take the dogs to the dog park for an hour any random day if I want to, or, go hiking in the middle of the week because it sounds
Okay.
great.
Yeah, that sounds way more of like persuading, I should say. It's just like, yeah, I got flexibility. I can take a walk whenever I want. I'm like, that's called normal freedom, Alli. That's called basic
there's
human
that,
privileges.
but I was so hard on myself that I wouldn't do that. Like, where it came from, how hard we work
it
on
is
that mindset.
so many. It's like I struggle with it too sometimes still, like not as much anymore since I've set boundaries, especially since when you work from home, you have to set boundaries with yourself. But like you feel bad that you should be putting any sort of creative energy or free time you have into your business because you have the quote unquote flexibility to do so. Rather than like allowing yourself to walk away from it and energetically change. Because if you don't disconnect from it that way, it bleeds into your relationships. And something we've definitely learned, I think, in business, especially over the last few years, with myself, is that your relationships and your business, they correlate. If your relationships are shit and you can't build good relationships, you're not going to be able to build a good business because it's all about who you know and networking and connecting and building relationships. Your sales copy, your sales page is you building a relationship. Your reels and TikToks are you building a relationship. So if your relationships are shit, your business will probably feel it. So that's relationship health as well, I guess, is one of those things I've learned in business.
We should have been writing down a list of the topics we're talking about so we can recap at the end.
Well, we'll go ahead and transcribe this big, beautiful thing. I'll have Kirsten do all that, the podcast manager. Yay. That's another win, you guys. Once you have the capability to do so, outsource to people so you can focus on the things that light you up in your business. Your business it doesn't have to be hard. Like, it doesn't have to be. It's going to be, you're going to have those moments, but it doesn't have to be hard. Your business shouldn't feel so freaking draining, because if you are working so much and doing so much, it's because you haven't slowed down to just stop and listen and get yourself together. You're stuck in a constant state of overwhelm and stress. So every time people are like, I just don't have time to do stuff for my business, or I don't have time to do self-care, I don't have time to love myself or date myself. I'm like, well, if you don't currently have time to do all these necessary things to build the life that you want, then there's something wrong. It's like you more than anybody need some freaking help right now if you don't have time. So that's like one of those random, like, kind of means the opposite, but it is the same piece of advice. Like, if you don't have time, that means you need to slow down. And people are always like, what?
Revisit your priorities and see where you're, just like budgeting, right? It's just budgeting with your time. You need to evaluate where you're putting your time. And
your energy. Your energy is so important.
Are you giving your energy to people who drain you, even though you might not be doing something crazy? Are you calling that friend on your way to or from work that is just draining you? Not that you can't be friends with them, but maybe you should just like limit the amount of energy that they're taking from you, so that way you have more energy for yourself to put in. There's nothing wrong. That's another really good one. I think I've learned there's nothing wrong with setting boundaries.
Don't feel guilty for saving your energy.
Friends, family. Your family does not get a get out of jail free pass just because they're family. They are not allowed to be energy suckers just because they are family.
Yeah. And like, that's another big reason that we have masterminds groups, and even why we created Grounded for Growth for free, you guys. You have to have a community of people who understand the bullshit that you also have to go through in business, especially as a female entrepreneur. You're going to have problems and issues and things that you just come into contact with that are very unique being a female business owner. And it's just good to be able to have those people to shoot the shit with and just also complain and be validated and seek some guidance from, because the people in your life who aren't business owners or even female business owners just don't understand. I even have a hard time connecting with male business owners sometimes because they're just so up in their bullshit of toxic masculinity and they're not willing to open and just listen. Your work wellness is important. The number one thing I have learned in business, it doesn't matter what job you are in, it doesn't matter what business you own, or if you work a 9-to-5 corporate job, your workplace wellness, it is important and it matters. Just because society has told us like you have to work a shitty job and everyone hates their job, just, everyone hates it. So just suck it up, buttercup, you'll be fine. Work 20 years. Well, now it's going to be like work 40 years and then get your retirement. Whew, that just got me all heated. But it's so important. The amount of conversations I even had last night with everyone's mainly stressed out about money and their job. Because of their workplace wellness. People don't quit jobs, they quit bosses. They're toxic assholes. Again, relationships. It all comes back to relationships. Anyways, that was a heated side rant. Goodness gracious me. Apparently there's a trigger there for me. Yeah. So if you guys hate your job, message me and talk to me about it. I'll get you all hyped up.
I think another super important one, and this is one that you work on very specifically with Mastermind and your one-on-one girls, but that we've started to incorporate into content and that kind of stuff, is aligning yourself with your energy, with your business. Mm-hmm. And for me personally, I can attest to this. Everybody has like an energy cycle and an energy flow. And for me, never fails, always seems to be Thursdays are just my day where I get hit by a train. I'll wake up Friday and be fine, but Thursdays are always just super low energy for me. And so we've been able to figure out, aligning what I'm doing through the week around that energy shift that I have, and being able to do that is going to help you be so efficient in your business. Yeah,
I've learned real hard. It took a few times, of course. You're not failing, you're figuring it out. Not to launch. I have I would say it's about 6 or 7 week energy cycles. It's really weird. And I've seen and then there's people like Katie where it's 3 months. And then there's people like Annika, which is 6 days. I feel like you guys all have very different energy cycles, and it comes with your creative energy, your connection energy. You could be incredibly creative, but not want to talk to a damn soul. Creative and connected, very different. So I've learned to launch my business courses and launch my sales and do all that stuff around when I'm wanting to connect, wanting to get out of my head. Yesterday, I recorded a bunch of reels and a bunch of things for ads, which probably if I was feeling up and tired and in my head and self-conscious, I'm not going to want to record any reels. I would have probably hated them all. So it's syncing up with your feeling like a boss ass bitch vibe with your content creation and your connection and your sales, your big sales week. I've learned just when you have to do launches and sales calls and you're already not feeling good and you're just in your head about everything. It sets you up to fail hard. So learn from my mistake, guys. Learn from my mistake.
Sorry. If you can hear him drinking water.
Nice. Oh, the dog. Yeah, you guys, it's just their dog. Your dogs are very frequent visitors on our call. They are.
Anybody who works with me, especially in this sense where we do video calls, they will meet my dogs. Bubba.
He's sure. I had to put Blue outside because he gets loud and obnoxious when I'm on calls as well. So, well, if you guys, God, this was great. We should definitely do more podcasts again. Yeah, it's so fun. But please come hang out with us for Grounded for Growth. That's going to be Instagram grounded444 growth, as well as opt into the free calls. We send out replays, fun business building tools and activities. It's just, you know, free like-minded gals looking
Come hang
to,
out with us, share your energy, take some of ours.
yeah, take some of ours. We have all these ideas. We just want to give you guys all the ideas and love and community. And yeah, we meet every other week. So that's going to be freespiritbarbie.com/co-working. I will have all the tags and all of the links and everything down below. As well as you can follow me again at freespirit_Barbie. And Alli, can you let people know where to find you and all the things?
Yeah, you can find me at fit_by_Alli on Instagram. It's long.
It really isn't though. Like when you see it, it's so short and tiny.
It's all the periods that really make it interesting.
You could say dot. You could say
Yeah,
fit.by.Alli.
and Alli is ALLI.
And your website?
Is fitbyalli.com. No periods, just straight through.
I love how we got like nervous. You're like, oh gosh, yeah, I could tell them where to find me. And you guys, if you want to see Alli's beautiful face more, she has a YouTube channel as well.
So, oh yes, I do. That one's interesting.
Oh my gosh.
It is also Fit by Alli, but in between the by.Alli, there's a space.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So roughly everything is Fit by Alli, just like different variations depending on what the platform had available. It's fine.
Perfect. It's fine. We're cool. It's fine. We'll put everything down below as well. But yeah, you guys don't be shy. Come hang out with us. Message us like anytime. We appreciate and love you guys. Remember to, what's my usual tagline? Gosh, my brain is just all over the place. Oh yeah. Drink some water, protect your energy, and just have some freaking fun today.
Yes. Bye guys.